Hey and howdy everyone, it's Jeannie with Paper Pixie Ink, and today I'm going to do a quick tutorial with you. This is what I'm going to refer to as a pocket insert for a pocket page. I like doing these for my albums when I have pocket pages in them, just because they add a little bit of extra depth and dimension to my album. You can decorate these as separate inserts and make your pockets a little bit thicker. You can have inserts in them and you can create them either this way so that you have pockets this way, or this way so that you have pockets this way, which is how we're doing ours today. So let's dive in. Okay, so to start, we are going to take a piece of cardstock. This piece is 11 by 8.5, and we are going to score halfway both ways. So with the 11 inches across the top, we're going to score on the short side at 5.5. So that's half. And then we're going to flip it around so that the short side is along the top, and we're going to go ahead and score on the long side at 4.25. And then we're going to put this away. So the next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to fold this corner up so that it's along the top. You want to get it close to the score line, but you don't necessarily want it on the score line, because when you fold it the other way, it can cause some issues. So I got it within about 1/8 of an inch. And then on this side here, we're going to do the same thing, but much shorter. So I'm only going to flip it up this way. And I'm just eyeballing this, but you could always just measure it or use a ruler or a T-ruler to do it. And then we are going to cut across here, and we all know that I suck with scissors. So I'm going to grab my paper trimmer, and I'm just going to lay this down so that my score line is right at my cut line. And then I'm just going to cut right up until where those score lines meet. And then we're going to do some folding. So I'm going to fold this over just like this. And I'm going to try and line everything up so that I don't have any issues. And then I am going to fold this up this way. I'm going to burnish those folds as well, making sure I have nice clean edges. And then I'm going to fold it this way one last time. Again, making sure I have everything as lined up as possible. Burnish those down. And here is what we can use as a pocket insert for our album pockets. So before I go ahead and glue this together, I want to make sure that I have some pattern paper on here. So I'm just going to put it on the fronts, so you can grab whatever you want. These are some thin pieces that I have. I bought a little paper pad from Hobby Lobby years ago, and it had all kinds of sheets in it. I just grabbed a few that I thought would go with this to finish this off. So really all I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a pencil. So first I'm going to cut this piece off here, and that's so that I can mark the other piece. So I'm going to line this up and cut that piece off, and this way I can line this up again. So I already marked down in this corner, but now I can line it up here and see where my other part of my pocket is. And then I'm just going to line those two marks up. And trim. So this piece should now go on here just like this. And then you could continue so that you were just using the same piece to cover this, which is still pretty easy to do. All you have to do, all I would do, because we already know that it's cut the right way this way, right? Because we already cut that top piece off. You could just tuck this in just like this so that your pocket goes a little ways in. Making sure that you line everything up and keep it nice and even. And then we could just mark again where our pockets are. So this piece could go right in here, just like this. I'm just going to cut this off. Try and make sure that you keep everything even. And then you can use this last piece just right in here. You could also cut separate pieces if you so desired. I'm going to keep this simple and then use other pieces to create inserts to go into the pocket insert for our pocket page. So you have tons of space. So let's go ahead and just glue these down. So I'm just going to use some liquid glue and I'm going to use a very light application. You want to be careful when you're working with pattern paper that is this thin. This is the thickness of copy paper, so you can easily get bubbling on it if you're not careful. You want to just apply it very lightly without any big clumps of it or anything. And then we're just going to kind of lift and insert. Oops. Then we have our last piece. And this is just going to go in this corner here. Oops. Just like that. And so now we can go ahead and glue our pocket down. So you could create this, so this would go into a pocket like this, and you could have your inserts inside of here and glue it here and here. So you would have these inserts, or in these pockets here and here and here. Or you could put it this way. So, you know, depending on what you would want, and depending on the paper that you were using, would depend on how you would have to cut it to put it on, obviously. In this particular case, I'm going to leave it like this, but this way works just as well. Especially, I like doing these for 6x8 albums because I usually do them 6 wide and 8 tall, and these fit in pockets in those very, very well. So I'm, in this particular case, this is for an 8x8 album, so I'm just going to put a light amount of glue across here like this, and down the side. So you can glue this, but it'll stay closed when you glue this. So you just want to make sure that you have everything lined up as well as you can. And press it down. So there we have it. And now you can create inserts if you wanted to, for in here, and in here, and in here. So you have lots of space, and this will fit in a pocket. Because this is only 5.5, if you had a 6x6 album where you have, say, 6.25 inch by 6.25 inch pages, this would fit in there this way as well. So you could do it either way. So that is my tutorial for today. I know it's pretty quick and simple, but it is pretty easy to make, and it affords extra little inserts that you can pull out of your albums that you can also decorate on their own. So you could put a piece of pattern paper on the back of these as well to add extra, you know, dimension to your pieces. And you, when you pull these out and you have inserts inside these, you could even decorate the tops of them, you know, depending on which way you had them going. You could decorate these as well when you insert them in to the pockets. You could also use these to make greeting cards. So you could create a card like this and have inserts in here. So you could make these a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger. You could use one pocket to insert a gift card, for example, and then another to insert your message. So you have lots of options with these. These are quick and easy to do. They don't require anything special. You don't need a lot of pattern paper for it. You could use just a sheet of cardstock like I did here. You could use a sheet of pattern paper to make these. So they, you know, you wouldn't need cardstock at all. It's entirely up to you what you want to do. You could even make them smaller. So, for example, you could use a piece of pattern paper that are really small, and you can use these as extra pieces to attach to your plain pages. So this is 6.5 by 4.5. So I'm going to score this at 3.25. Because that's half of 6.25, or 6.5 rather. And then I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to score this at 2.25 because that is half of 4.5. And then I would have to flip it over, and you can fold this side up. Remember not to fold too close to that score line, and then you can fold this corner up as a much smaller pocket. Again, trying to keep everything as even as humanly possible. Again, you can measure. I'm going to grab a pair of scissors and I'm going to cut along this score line. And then we can fold this over on that score line, trying to make sure that you line everything up still. Then we're going to fold this up just like this, and then we're going to fold this over. So now you've created an extra little pocket that you could attach to a page, and you can use them to insert various, journaling cards or photo mats that you wanted. So you can do this in various sizes. You can do it with pattern paper or with cardstock, or combinations of both. So you have some options. They're quick and easy to do. They do add some space because these pockets allow you to actually add thickness to them. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of thickness that you can add to these because of the way that they're open on multiple sides. They're not just a regular pocket. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial. I know it was quick and easy, but I wanted to share with you a new option for pocket pages. So you can have a pocket insert for a pocket page, and they are a lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and as always, if you are interested in seeing more, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks, everyone.